Hey everybody, Average Picker here. Got a little package opening from RoonPicker. And we had done this little trade the other day, and I apologize to you, man. When I sent you my address, yes, I did indeed flip the last two digits on my address. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, but it's kind of funny because did get delivered somewhere, and nobody could seem to tell me where it actually got delivered, and that drove me nuts. But we started trying to think it through. We thought maybe it was a place down the street. It wasn't. And we ended up using a slight variation of the street I live on. And we went and checked there, and the lady did eventually get back to us and said, yes, the package was at her house. And it turns out she is the niece of a lady that lives just two doors down and across the street from me. Weird small world. So yeah, let's get this open, and it's not gonna be a whole lot here. We're just doing, it's kind of just a small little exchange, and man, I am running a little bit behind, but I promise I will let you know when I get something out. But hopefully it's going to be tomorrow, or maybe Tuesday morning, possibly. I was working on a challenge lock for you, because I've also got to do some stuff for Bill Bacardi and get it off to him. Yeah, what I tried just didn't work out, so yeah. It was kind of a back to the drawing board in between that and just being wiped from work. But yeah, I have not been doing a lot of picking lately. Been coming home and just sitting. So feel a little out of practice. All right, so we've got corn cob number 1 from Corn Cob. Looks like it's built around a master. It's one of these like sort of 1100-ish masters. But I think master makes, looks like we've been rewrapped too. I think master makes Americans, don't they? Somehow they're connected. Let's see what else. Let's see. A little bit smeared. I don't have it. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. So I think this is the one pinned up by RoonPicker, because he said he had a lock called HAL 9000. I'm pretty sure this is it, sporting that quote from HAL. That is a little HAL-like, a little orbital there. And oh, this is that one from Rotator, Apollo. Yeah, I remember seeing this because it had that box. These are nice bags, man. Yeah, ones I use have been around the block a few times. Apollo requires a shim. That's always nice to know. Here from Canada. Oh, that's a cool little keychain. It's upside down. Could probably pop a bottle cap with that. And nicely included several shims. A few shims in there. Looks like it's built around some sort of a Euro cylinder. Very cool, man. That'll be a neat one. I remember seeing this one, I think, on your channel. So yeah, that'll be cool. It's always kind of fun when they come in a little box. Should I try to pick Apollo? Or should I try to pick Apollo? Pick HAL. Let's see. We'll throw a few minutes at it here. Glad the lock ended up making it. Or the package ended up making it, though. That was, it's kind of, it's so weird because it's like its own little puzzle. It was driving me nuts. I did find out, though, a few years ago, everybody probably knows of dyslexia, but I've always been an avid reader and writer, never had an issue with it, but it turns out there is a number version of dyslexia, and I have it. And I did not know it, but that explains why I've always, growing up, had to like double and triple check numbers, because I do tend to flip them, and I guess I did it with my address this time. I don't like that lift I just did on pin 5, but we'll see what happens. It's kind of especially the front end of the lock, very snappy, lots of feedback. Can't really tell what 4 wants to do. Oh, that was 3. Come on, what do you want to do, 4? Do you want to go or not? You're giving me a little bit. There we go. Looks like we are in. Let's see. Take this box off here. We'll tilt you down a little bit. Oh. It's not quite expecting to be doing a lock. What have we got? Is it a little clip? Yeah. Is that gonna just peel off like they do sometimes? No, it is not. So I will unwrap it. All right, because I think you rewrapped these locks, I will rewrap when I send yours out. I don't normally rewrap, I just tend to send as it is. But, oh gosh, come on. So if I remember to, I will rewrap it. Oh wow, yeah, there's our bidding. That explains number 4 though, because I did not, it felt like it wanted to move a little more than it did, but obviously going back and hitting 5, I'd probably just tweaked 4 enough to catch it. Though like I said, though, it did feel like it was giving me some feedback, so it was not going to surprise me if it wanted to be picked more. But yeah. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, this is one of those crazy ribbed ones, you know, where they cut all the crap out, just saving every little bit of money. That's what we got in 5. Well, 5 is, yeah, that's a max lift on 5, guarded by our 4, 3, 2. 2's got a little dimple in it. That'll be interesting to see what that pairs up to. And 1, do we have anything going on? Feels like a little bit of undercutting maybe on 2. Oh, that came out. That's a cool pin. I don't know how much of it was getting used, but that's a cool, oh man, I see what's going on. Got the lock turned. So that did come out this way. I'm kind of surprised though, because it does have a little, I wonder if I flipped that one up. That one's supposed to be the other direction. Because this one does have a little tag on it, which could hit that dimple, but it was not set to. And that one has driven itself into the spring. Oh wow, it's like a little half spring in there, but it's a very large driver pin. And so yeah, you end up, you will run out of space. Where that spring can't compress all the way. And so yeah, one solution is to and it looks like we do have threading on 5. Looks like we got threading all throughout it except for on 1. Which is weird because 1 did give us some very distinct clicking. This is some cool pin work. Let's flip the camera real quick and we'll take a look at these pins. All right, so let's see. Is the light going to help at all in this situation? Or is it just going to produce too much glare? Kind of helps. I did not pull all the springs out, as you can tell. So there we go. And you can see it looks like 2. Well, maybe not. It sort of felt like I was feeling something there that was undercutting, but looking at it, it does not look to be the case. And if we get in here, you can see we've got threading. We still have part of a spring down there in 5 as well. But yeah, we've got threading all through there except for in 1 and 1 and 2. Weird, because if you asked me, I would have said there was definitely threading in 2. I would have been unsure about 1. But some very cool pin work going on here. So we'll start with 1. Just some very nice little serrations. Oh, and you can see a little divot there, which is shared on our second one, even though it's a very standard pin. We've got a shared divot. Now, I thought maybe, and because I had the lock flipped, I thought it came out this direction because the pin did drop and twist, and that would definitely work with that divot a little bit. We'll have to put it together, see what it does. But that is very cool. And I say, but I'm not sure, because when this one came out, this is our shear line across here, right? And when this one came up, this was our tipped top here was definitely at the spring. And this was at our shear line. So yeah, even though, you know, it would kind of snag into that little tiny divot here we've got on here, it was definitely this direction. So maybe this one was that other direction as well. Just a nice little standard serration cut there on 3. I think, you know, like I say this all the time, it just doesn't hurt to put those on there, right? And you can see this one took a spring with it, or brought the spring with it. It's very cool. Just some very light serrations, and that is all it takes. And like I said, this one, you could feel it definitely I had it set, didn't quite realize I had it set, but you could feel it working the shear line a little bit. If I had really forced it or maybe relaxed tension a little bit and allowed it to, it definitely would have set up into there. So it was doing its job. Oh. And this guy was up as well into the spring. Divots, little serration, and again, this would have been our shear line for how he came out. But look at that, is some crazy. I don't even know what to call those. I mean, they're not serrations, but it's not quite spooling. God, it almost looks like some kind of roller unit for a conveyor belt or something. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm very curious how these are going to sit. You know, those little nubs, they're great little ways. I'm kind of surprised that they're not flipped into our shear line, because they are great little ways to just have a last minute hold. Now, it could be that that's how they originally were planned to be, maybe, and they just weren't playing well with these pin divots. That can be an issue sometimes, at least in my experience. I have sort of experimented with something similar. He's sitting way down in there, quite a bit to get through. This one gave me the most issue, I think. It was not a clear lift. It was kind of just guesswork that it was ready to go. Let's see where that one sits down there as well. Yeah, man. I can't believe 2 is not threaded, because I was sure I really thought 2, if any of them, what I was looking at was just serration after serration after serration, and a threaded core or threaded Bible. That is really what I thought I was facing. So that's how it sits that way. It must have been with that tip up. I think that must be how it was, because that corresponds to how the rest of them were. Very cool, man. Very, very cool. If for some reason I have that wrong, just let me know. I will correct it. But yeah, very cool. You definitely, man, you know when you see these cut springs that it got tested out, and then it became I'm gonna make it work. So yeah, you end up cutting those springs, and it works. It does work. Saved you just enough space to get in there. So anyway, running a little long, but that's a little long on the beginning too. So anyway, everybody, thank you, Roon. I will get a package out to you, like I said, and you all have a good one. Thanks for watching.